Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to Anime King. And I'm back with a brand new episode, part 3 of What If Naruto Was created from all the Ōtsutsuki's DNA. Remember to get this one too. 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also, guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the brand new episodes over on the other channels if you're new. Yes, that's correct. I indeed have 3 more channels, which I post What If on every single day. So go ahead and check out Anime King 2, Anime King 3, and Anime Symbol, guys. And I hope you enjoy each and every one of them. And don't forget to turn on the bell notification to see when I post, because I do post a hell of a lot. So without further ado or wasting any more time, how about we jump right into this? Let us begin now, guys. So, the last part that we left off, Naruto created a friendship with Might Guy, as Guy was a quick person to befriend people, so it wasn't hard for him and Naruto to become friends. Naruto's destructive capabilities caused many people to notice him. However, in a short amount of time, he's grown exponentially, not just by his physical stature but his mental stature as well. When he first arrived, he knew pretty much nothing about the world. He understood nothing. As he was taken to the office, Hiruzen remarked and recalled memories of the past. As Naruto was severely lacking in several departments, but now he was like a completely different person, having learned and adapted to the situation that surrounds him. He's become one of them. They were quite aware that Naruto was not from this planet. There was so much evidence, but talking about it out loud sounded rather crazy, did it not? However, there was so much to say that he was not from this place. Then again, Naruto was a very talented individual, and they wanted him a part of their ranks. They wanted him a part of their village. Thus, they adapted him into their society. One Kakashi Hatake wasn't fond of Naruto though, perhaps due to the tragic moment when they actually found Naruto. He did not really take kindly to that, and everything in that day was just stressful. As the time passed, Minato took Naruto under his wing, trying to teach him right from wrong, trying to make him understand about his comrades, his friends. As Naruto started to branch out, making friends with others in the village. Unfortunately though, after another sparring session with Guy, with him almost killing Guy, it led to the others being distrustful of his actions, Kakashi becoming even more distrustful. As Naruto continued on, learning things from Minato, each and every time Minato knew that he should not be surprised, but he was, to how quickly Naruto adapted to things, to how quickly he learned things. It was like there was no limit to what he could learn. Given that Naruto had learned a substantial amount of things in a short amount of while, Minato believed that he was ready for the outside world. Thus, Naruto was there as a backup. Ren Nahara did not seem to have a problem with that, but Kakashi Hatake wasn't a fan. He wasn't a fan, not one bit. In fact, he despised Naruto. As the missions went on, Naruto come to learn more, as his actions were proven to be substantial for Konoha victory. Despite the Hidden Stone pulling back, you still had villages like Kiri. Ren Nahara was captured and Kakashi Hatake found her. He stayed behind while the others made their way off. Naruto had arrived there, understanding the situation as Ren wanted to die, knowing that if she stepped foot in Konoha vicinity, the three tails that they sealed inside of her would wreak havoc and destroy everything. Thus, she needed to die. Kakashi refused as he fended off against the others that tried to come on them, but Naruto did not hesitate as he plunged his hand through her chest with enough force, ripping out her heart. The wounded Obito Uchiha and Kakashi Hatake both awakened the Sharingan in that moment. Obito teared through every single Kira ninja that was there until he took on Naruto. The problem was, Naruto wasn't your average individual. Obito hits were brutal and deadly, but Naruto was healing around that, his strength proving to be a problem. Obito caused Naruto a significant amount of pain, which angered Naruto to the point that he released a violent gravitational force that ripped the entire place asunder. Obito was gone by the time Naruto arrived there, taken away by Zetsu. Obito was unconscious. Almost every bone in his body was broken, but he was alive. As he was brought back to the hideout, he was brought back to Madara Uchiha. As Zetsu came with news, it seems they have an up-and-coming problem to deal with. Returning back to the village, Kakashi releases frustration and anger on Naruto, telling him how much he despised him for what he did. Something could have been done, even though everything seemed like there wasn't a possibility. Kakashi cursed at Naruto, telling him to just get out of here. He did not deserve to attain this. He was the one that killed her. His rage knew no bound. Naruto was justifying his actions. Naruto showed no sympathy, nothing at all. Minato was only human and he felt horrible because he was angry at Naruto for what he did. He believed he was teaching Naruto wrong from right, but the way Naruto showed no concern, no care that he slaughtered Ren Nohara, made him upset, made him angry. Opinions seemed to be turning and changing on Naruto, and he hated that. He felt it was time that he left, so he left behind a note and proceeded to leave the village. Right when Minato was about to say something to him, Naruto left the village because in his eyes he wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong one bit, and them acting this way was something that he would not stand for. Naruto was gone and no one noticed that, and they wouldn't have an easy time finding him. Not at all, as he made his way, leaving Konoha, stepping out into the world where there was going to be a lot more problem due to his growing abilities and his growing strength. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the playcheck of yourselves to be in this new episode. From the moment they met, Kakashi has blamed Naruto for everything. Perhaps it was because they met on the same day when Obito died, and Naruto killing Ren was the last straw. He despised him. That is why he had no idea why the hell they would put the effort to try and locate him. It has been weeks, and they've been rather unsuccessful. It was best in his mind that Naruto stay the hell away from the village. Being the last member on Team Minato, Kakashi was going through a lot. Watching Ren die, believing that he could have saved her, but Naruto took that choice out of his hand. Despite his knowledge on Fuinjutsu immensely lacking, he believed that he could have done something, but instead, she's now dead. So he couldn't understand why his sensei was pushing for this. Meanwhile, Minato Namikaze felt bad. A lot of things really. He hated the fact that Ren was dead. He truly hated that fact. However, he was so angry. After all, he was human. He took that anger out on Naruto. He was the first one to show Naruto home, trying to teach him, and he abandoned him. Minato knew that Naruto wasn't just like them. Despite the teachings, in his eyes he did what he thought was right. Ren was the one. She understood it. She knew the risks. She knew what was going to happen if she stepped foot within the vicinity of Konoha. That is what countless shinobis do on a daily basis. Fight and die for their home, but it was his student, so his anger was valid. Giving Naruto a reaction, something he was rather aware of, that Naruto didn't act like them. Then again, Minato Namikaze was human, prone to irrational anger, like everyone else. As much as many people believe that he was this pure person that fight for justice and right for his village, and didn't have emotions such as jealousy, greed, anger. He had those emotions. He abandoned Naruto and left him in the cold. And because of that, Naruto ran away. He was struggling with Ren's death. Once again, blaming himself for not being there to save one of his own. And now Naruto was gone. He's learned too much. They've taught him too much. Naruto's skills, evasion, hiding. He adapted to everything that you threw at him, and Minato wanted to make sure that he was ready for the world. Thus, there was no way that they could find him that easily. And given the weeks that passed, it was understandable. Meanwhile, due to the cells that were implanted in his body, Obito Uchiha had recovered as he stood on his feet, completely fine. Ren had died. Kakashi had promised him. He promised him that he would keep her safe. But she died. This world was just as broken as Madara said. And it needed to be fixed. It needed to be corrected. However, his rage had yet to quell. He saw the one that ended the life of Ren Nohara. The one that was strong enough to cancel out his rage. He had his plan in mind, he had his goal, but that person had to die. His soul will not be resting until that person died and he fixed this broken world. Thus, he adapted the identity, the name that brought the world to fear, the name that can send shivers down the spine of even some of the most veteran ninjas. Uchiha Madara. Meanwhile that was going on, Naruto was currently standing calmly while he was surrounded by several individuals. They were all thugs, trekking through the forest area, far beyond the land of fire. Naruto had run into a lot of problems, and this was one of the latest. It seems like Naruto had stepped into the heart of a bandit camp as they all surrounded him, believing to be more of a threat. However, one of them simply chuckled. "It's just a brat," he said, as they lowered their guards. Naruto had a bag that was slinged over his shoulder with a few things inside. One of the more cockier members, dark hair and brown eyes, stepped forward. "Seems like you found yourself in a rather unfavorable position, brat. Hand over what you have in that bag there, and we'll allow you to leave without much of a problem." Naruto rolled his eyes as he kept on walking. "Hey, I'm talking to you," he said, stepping in front of Naruto. Due to his much larger size, he believed that he had the power to take this brat down without hesitation. After being ignored for the second time, the others started to laugh at him. He gripped onto Naruto's arm. Naruto paused in his step. "Let go," he said. "It seems you don't understand the situation here. You're in..." He wasn't able to finish that sentence. Despite the man's much larger arm, Naruto pried his hand off him, jumped in the air and delivered such a kick. The bandit was sent through the trees. before finally coming to a stop. Whether he was alive or dead, none of the others know. However, they now realize the severity of what just took place, and despite seeing it with their own eyes, they choose to attack. After all, he was one of their own, and this brat had just disrespected their own. So it was only right that they retaliate. However, in exactly 1 minute, every single one of them lied on the ground, some of them unmoving, some of them wincing in pain. Naruto dusted himself off as he kept on walking. He still had no idea where he was going or what he was going to do. The only home that he came to know, he had to leave due to how things became. Naruto still did not believe that what he did was wrong. She knew what was at stake, and she asked him to. So he ended her life. Judging by their reaction, he was supposed to feel this emotional guilt or something, but he just did not. Further proof to show him that he wasn't like them. But the world was a big place with a lot of people. That is, if they stopped trying to attack him. This place was filled with so much chaos and so much problems. As Naruto kept on walking, it doesn't matter how long you walk for, he never truly felt tired as he kept on walking and walking and walking, clearing as much distance between himself and Konoha. By the time he finally came to a stop, he found himself in a different area. Having no idea where he was located, he saw a mountain up ahead, realizing that he needed to get to higher grounds as he proceeded to make his way. Meanwhile, just beyond that mountain, a great conflict was taking place. The Land of Lightning has always been a dominating force, a military strength that overcome many. In terms of population, they had the most ninjas out of all of the countries, while Konoha might have more quality ninjas. Their numbers were truly insane. So, it wouldn't beg to question that if someone stood in the way of them getting what they desire, they would not hesitate to take that person down. Well, at the moment, residing within the near vicinity of the Land of Lightning, just a mountain beyond, was a very special village. The place was known as Ryugaku, or the Hidden Rio village. The Hidden Rio village was special. It was small, and the people there were also special due to what was gifted to them from the land. You see, this village had a very special and guarded secret, just like the Land of Waterfall, that had the ancient secret water that immensely boosts your power. At this Hidden Rio village, there was something known as the Ryugen Crystal. The Ryugen Crystal was found in the Hidden Rio village. Its origin was unknown, kept as a great secret by the elders of the Ryu village, passed down through generations after generations. The crystals have unique chakra-enhancing properties, allowing one to drastically increase their chakra reservoir and elevate all of their jutsu beyond normal limits. For years, the Land of Lightning has tried to negotiate with the Ryu village, trying to bring forward a trade agreement, but the elders refuse, fearing that the people would become enslaved or they would be exploited for their valuable resources by the Raikage. And given the fact that the crystals were guarded secret, perhaps there was more than just crystals. Whatever they were, the elders would never budge. They would never give. However, with the death of the third Raikage, his son, A, took over, trying to put a stronger hold than his father. Due to the village lack of Kikigenkai, which majority of the other nations seem to possess. They needed an edge. They might have the numbers, but the others had the strength. He had enough of this bullshit. It was time that they take what they want. He tried, but the village would not cooperate. And it was time that they head straight in to take what they want. The main person leading this drive was sent by the Raikage. His name was Raijin Kazamai. He was known as a storm tyrant. He was the leader of a very powerful group known as the Lightning Corps. He was a towering, mighty man with dark brown skin, golden lightning shapes across his body. He had wild spiky hair like a storm cloud. His golden eyes crackled with electricity. He was a very powerful man, the strongest wielder of a very sacred technique known as the Black Lightning. He was also a teacher to a few. He was one of the massive, heavy hitters within the Land of Lightning. While his power might not eclipse the current Raikage, he was up there with some of the greats, a force to be reckoned with, a monster on the battlefield. A distance away from the Hidden Rio village was Raijin. Behind him was a Lightning Corps, each of them wearing black and blue, a very dark blue. They wore masks on their face that seemed to accentuate a lightning strike, the way it curved and bent, yet perfectly fit their face. They were an extremely dangerous group. Their level might not be on the same level as the former Kinkaku group, but still, they were right below that. Each of them handpicked by Raijin himself to ensure that the group would be phenomenal. Raijin loyalty known no bound, and this mission he would not fail to ensure the growth of his people and the growth of his village. At the moment, a man known as Tenma was on the ground. He was the leader of the village. He was the one that protected the crystals. However, Raijin had bested him. Tenma people were looking on in shock, fearing what would happen next. Tenma was the strongest. There was also another question about the crystals. If they could enhance the power so much, Tenma should be a lot stronger, but no, he was not. There were so many secrets behind those crystals that was only known within the village. Raijin stepped forward. "It's over," he said, the lightning dancing around him. Not even the Black Lightning, not even the pinnacle of his power, and yet his power was so great. However, Tenma forced himself up to his feet. "You are wrong. As long as I still draw breath, I will fight for my home. I will fight for my people, and I will fight for what belongs to us. You have no right, no claim, and I refuse to surrender," Tenma said. "Well, if that's the case, I suppose we're done talking," Raijin said. He sped through Hansine. His body started to dance with Black Lightning. Now this was problematic as you could taste it in the air. Immediately Tenma people rushed towards him, but he threw his hand out. "Stop," he said, stopping them, not wanting to risk their life. He turned his gaze back towards Raijin as he brought his hand up, ready to fight. However, something arrived. Well, someone. Leaping down from the mountainside, he landed between the two, kicking up dust and smoke. Everyone was confused. When the smoke and dust cleared away though, Raijin was more so confused. "A child," he said, feeling rather insulted. Did they really bring a child here to face him? "Get out of here," Tenma said. "Run away, this doesn't involve you." Being a very compassionate man not to see a child lose his life. "I can't do that," Naruto said. Having crawled to the top of the mountain, he witnessed this scene. He stood there for a good minute. He recalled teachings that were given to him. Should he disregard everything due to the fact that Minato stopped caring? But no. Minato taught him right from wrong. And these people are trying to take something that doesn't belong to them and kill anyone that stood in their way. And Naruto wasn't about to stand for that. Despite the man hulking size, there was no fear. Naruto held his hand out. A violent gravitational wave sent Raijin sailing away. Tenma and his people were shocked. Naruto turned his gaze to Tenma. I owe you nothing and you owe me nothing either. However, this was the right thing to... Tenma's eyes widened as Naruto wasn't able to finish. Raijin arrived in a split second and hit Naruto so hard. The air itself trembled. Naruto was blasted to the side, slamming through thick slab of stones before crashing in a trench. He felt like to scream, but he couldn't. An overwhelming sense of pain washed over Naruto. Never, ever in his life has he experienced so much pain, not even that strange masked shinobi pulverizing his face with his bare fist hurt this much. He wanted to release the pain. Raijin arrived and stepped on Naruto, crushing him into the ground. Tenma tried to help Naruto, but Raijin ripped the entire place apart, sending Tenma sailing with the Black Lightning. Raijin picked Naruto up. I don't know who you are, child, but fighting against me means fighting against my village. And I won't allow anyone or anything to overcome my village. He threw Naruto into the air. The same hand signs like before as his body surged. He was going to prove to them that they stood no chance by using this child as an example. He created a dragon made from black lightning. It arced through the sky, showing his loyalty. Had no bounds, he was willing to do whatever it takes for the sake of his home. The dragon smashed into Naruto with all the ferocious power that it could, seemingly ripping his entire existence apart. Only pieces falling to the ground a distance away. Surging with more power, Tenma was shocked. Just truly now realizing how truly outgunned he actually was. And his people, willing to fight and die by his side. But could he really risk those that he cared about so much? What's the point of being a leader if you give up the life of your subordinates for something that could easily be avoided? Then again, taking what doesn't belong to them, trespassing in their sacred land. But his people's life was on the line, and he could not beat this man. Tenma knew that deep in his heart, and because of that, a child just died. A child that was so good. The only thing that he desired was to help him, despite not knowing him. Tenma released a breath, releasing his defenses as he gazed up as Raijin made his way towards him, over to the other side. The only thing that remained was his torso on his head. His arms and legs were, well, pretty gruesome right now. Naruto lay there on the ground, unmoving, unblinking, just lying there. Yet he was still alive. Yes, he was still breathing. As he lay there on the ground, gazing towards the heavens, he understood the concept of death. However, he never thought that he would die so soon. But he felt something. As he was on the verge of disappearing, erasing from this world, he felt something. Something odd, something strange. A sensation within him. The Ōtsutsuki elders believed that Naruto was a failure, an abomination, because he lacked the necessary power to make him godlike. He was weak. But they They themselves did not understand their experiment. They infused Naruto with emotions and DNAs from beings from other worlds, including their own. And as smart and as strong as they are, Ōtsutsuki's lack the basic traditional emotional attachments and feelings to their own. All they did was thirst and crave for power. If it meant ascending, they would overcome everything below them. So they did not understand. They did not know the triggers that was needed to activate the power within Naruto. As he lay there, he knew that he needed to get stronger, bigger, more powerful than anyone else. As he hated the pain that he was feeling, this helplessness. The 3 marks on both of his cheeks started to glow, emanating a light. These marks were linked to his DNA code. These marks were linked to the basic formation of Naruto. As he lay there, great changes started to take place. Through imagination came reality. He needed to become stronger. Thus he tapped into the power that was deep within him. Because of his destroyed body, his power reconstructed. But it did not reconstruct it to be small and puny anymore. It reconstructed to be more powerful, more durable, more godlike as the Ōtsutsuki's believe. Naruto's entire body was overcome by a blue light. He lost his physical features as the light enveloped him. Raijin came to a stop. He turned around. What the hell is that? He thought to himself, gazing towards where the corpse of the boy should be. But instead, every single one of them felt it, a warm sensation. It was chakra, but it wasn't your average chakra. It wasn't something that they could truly understand. But in the depths of their soul, they could all feel it. They could all understand it. They could feel the rising source. Raijin stepped forward. Tenma struggled to get back to his feet. His people and the lightning core all gazing downwards. When they saw it, the body hovering in the air, as the chakra started to bend, imagination into reality, constructing a new form, constructing a more powerful body. As Naruto landed down on his feet, the light started to go up from his feet. His skin seemed to get more pale, not that much, but you could see it, like his entire genes and his DNA had been rewritten. As the light went up, silver pants appeared on him, wrapping around him loosely, with a sash wrapping around his waist. There was nothing covering his torso, for a moment allowing you to see a spiral marking on his back that spiraled outwards. There was around 10 megatamas embedded in each of the spiral. Markings twist along his arms, strange Ōtsutsuki runes that have a deeper meaning, a connection with a ferocious beast. As Naruto straightened himself up, a white cloak appeared, covering his torso and wrapping around him tightly. The light died down as his hair was floating downwards, his luscious white hair. His crystal blue eyes gazed out. The markings on his cheek, all the light was pulled inside of it. As it stopped glowing, Naruto cracked his neck and looked down towards his hands. It seems they were all right, he said to himself. This was not a human feature. He knew it deep down that he was a human. Whatever he was special. And it seems like he's not done growing just yet. His power had skyrocketed from what it just was. New knowledge started to seep into the core of his mind. A strange pulsation started to emanate from Naruto's body. The pulsating energy was disturbing many forces. Good thing though, it did not leave this planet and spread into the vast, known universe. The energy almost seemed to be shielding Naruto by not alerting the danger, due to his body still being much weaker than the elders. The weakest one amongst them could slaughter him within seconds. However, the strange thing was Naruto evolved. He evolved into something much more powerful, while his features might not go that far anymore, considering that he was just a child a moment ago, but now he looked like he was in his later teens. His power, there were stages to his evolution, and that was a great insignia by the marks. The 3 whisker-like marks that were on his cheeks, 2 of them vanished from each side, leaving only 2 on both cheeks. A symbol, a sign to his evolution, and this seemed to be the first stage. The quaking feeling that was coming from him spread out and affected the environment. The heavens, the environment started to change. The place became cold and hot at the same time. However, the most great change was the opening eyes of a woman. A powerful woman that was supposed to be in a deep, endless sleep, never to be awoken once again. Naruto emanating pulse awakened her. Even she was surprised by that. In the depths of life between this and beyond, another being opened his eyes, truly shocked to what he felt. Impossible. His entire existence was changed in the fabric of many different things that were supposed to be cemented in reality. Yet, there he stood, awakening in greater strength. Raijin stepped forward without any hesitation as he blinked in front of Naruto, showing an insane amount of speed. "Who are you?" he said. "You're not the same child from before." "I am. But I guess I'm different now," said Naruto. "I've evolved into something stronger." His voice was deeper, more rough, more manly. "It doesn't matter," Raijin said. "You will keep on standing in my way like before, and for that..." Raijin raised his hand, but Naruto was gone. Raijin was surprised, shocked. He couldn't believe it. That speed, he said with an unbelievable look on his face. Looking down towards the ground, Naruto saw the leader of this place. Things were different now. Naruto understood the man. He understood what he was fighting for. He understood his purpose, everything by a gaze. Tenma gazed up. He did not ask who, but, "What are you?" he said. "I'm someone that is here to help," said Naruto. "I'm not sure of my purpose just yet, but I can see what is going on here and it is wrong. And that is why I desire to aid you." Just like before, Raijin flashed behind Naruto. This time, he would decapitate him. His arm was coated in the black lightning, another mastery of his, able to circulate the black lightning towards certain areas of his body, turning his entire form into a lightning rod. But this time, though, Naruto caught his arm. "Go back to your people. Stay by their side. I'll finish the rest," Naruto continued, acting like he did nothing a moment ago. He pulled Raijin and slammed his elbow in his face. Raijin was thrown back as he flipped several times. He landed as blood dropped on the ground. His blood was seeping from his nose. His nose was indeed broken. Naruto blitzed away as Raijin blitzed away as well. They clashed in the center, sending out a huge shockwave of black lightning and the strange energy that was seeping from Naruto. Both men were moving at incredible speed as they blinked in and out. Raijin was sending the black lightning to his feet. He stimulated his entire form but his feet, which caused him to move insanely fast. While not as fast as the Raikage at his fastest, but still truly impressive, surpassing any Jonin and any Anfu. He blitzed towards Naruto once again, but this time Naruto was able to counter. Time seemed to slow down as Raijin saw his arm being deflected. Naruto hit him as the armor that he was wearing. The coated armor cracked before imploding as he was thrown away. Raijin flipped as he landed. He then collapsed and started to cough, feeling the sensation afterwards. When he noticed the shadow looming over him, he gazed up into those eyes. Naruto's fist buried into the ground, but Raijin was able to move. He slammed his hand together as the wolf, 3 of them made from black lightning, jumped Naruto all at once. Naruto weaved under the first. The second ran to his midsection as he jumped. However, the third crashed into him, giving Raijin the opportunity as he exploded out of the earth. He delivered a vicious punch in Naruto's face. He then grabbed Naruto's right arm and swung him around. He then lifted him and slammed him down, cracking the ground underneath. His body was electrified by the black lightning as he sent it down to his fist. He then brought it down as the entire place erupted in a violent blast. No, said Tenma, watching their last hope go up in an explosion. Raijin took several deep breaths. He was using a lot of power behind his blows. After all, a normal person can't generate a force like that with simple punches. Raijin was shocked though, as his hand did not descend as far as he would like. Naruto was blocking it, his arms crossed. Impossible, said Raijin. As Naruto flexed, Raijin was sent into the sky by a gravitational force. Naruto picked himself up and banged his knees. He pushed off with a tremendous amount of speed, passing Raijin in mid-air. Raijin spun around, blazing through hand sign as he released a beam, a concentrated beam of black lightning. However, something truly extraordinary took place, and they were all there to witness it. As the beam raced towards Naruto, with all the power of a lightning strike, enhanced by the black electricity right behind it, Naruto formed a blade made from pure chakra. It was red, another aspect of what was ingrained inside of him. He split the lightning attack in half. His chakra was able to rip through the molecules of Raijin chakra, tearing it in half. Raijin was shocked as he was falling. He couldn't believe it. This person was not ordinary, but he can win this. His loyalty to his village, his faith in his comrades, his friends, his Raikage. Raijin power surged as he started to push out even more. Raijin was able to manifestate a blade made purely from the black lightning. His body was being overloaded and that could be seen from the smoke. But as Raijin twisted and landed on the ground, him and Naruto clashed, kicking up dust and smoke. The blade that Raijin was holding seemed to be at least 5 times stronger than the lightning bolt, given the fact that it withstand Naruto's blow. Raijin sped around Naruto trying to outwit him with his speed, but Naruto was by his side. They ran side by side as their blades clashed with their hands. Their other fists kept on throwing, slamming against one another's, causing a miniature shockwave with their power colliding as Raijin coated his fist with the black lightning. They moved from area to area. Their battle was phenomenal as they clashed all over the place until both of them separated and blitzed towards each other. The concussive force finally released from their blade caused a shockwave to rip through the area. Everyone had to hunker down. When the smoke and dust cleared, Raijin was still standing, as Naruto was, on the ground, seconds before they collided. Raijin saw it. He saw the way to win. As the both of them moved in, Raijin waited until the perfect second where Naruto could not withdraw his hand. Raijin was able to cancel out the force in his blow by dissipating the blade and causing it to regenerate as quick as a lightning flash. Due to him no longer holding a sword, Naruto's blade met no resistance as Raijin cleaved through his arm, using the blade in his other hand. He did it once again as he buried it through Naruto's chest, missing just an inch away from his heart due to Naruto overextending. However, that should be enough. The current surging through the black lightning was enough to destroy his insides. Raijin collapsed down to his knees, exhausted, unable to believe that there was such people like this out there that they had no idea about. Then again, this person was a child not too long ago. Perhaps some genjutsu, perhaps some sort of illusion. Raijin stood there, gazing towards Naruto's unmoving corpse. When he saw the reconstruction of Naruto's arm, his eyes widened in utter shock. No, that's not. Naruto's body bounced to his feet in a second as he placed a hand where he got stabbed, the hole closing up completely. It seems you're going to need a lot more than that to kill me, said Naruto. But I will give this to you. You're strong. Extremely so. Your power is almost as equal as mine. Then again, I seem to have only breached the subject of my evolution. So eventually, I will eclipse you, said Naruto. But you should be honored that your power was able to contest with mine. I'm still learning, still trying to understand, and this battle has given me a lot. However, I came here for a purpose. Naruto said, forming an axe. A red axe as he gripped onto it. The next moment though, they descended upon him. Every single member of the Lightning Corps. One of them grabbed Raijin and jumped out of there. Naruto blocked the first two. Another one behind him with a kunai. Naruto grabbed the two arms and spun them, knocking away the one with a kunai. It was a distraction. 5 lightning-based attacks raced towards Naruto as he was in mid-air. He blitzed away from them. He sped forward and slammed his heel in a kunoichi's stomach, sending her sailing, only for 3 kunais to race towards him as he plucked them out of the air and launched them back, but they were deflected by another member. The ground cracked open as an explosion beneath him, blowing Naruto into mid-air. They all come together as one. An electrified wind-based lightning attack combination from 5 of them. Naruto spun around though, as he brought his fist down and hit the epicenter of the attack, releasing the explosion release that made the very air tremble itself. Naruto landed as he gazed around him. All of them, weapons drawn, hands ready. They blitzed towards him as he weaved and dodged, his eyes keeping up with their movements. He backpedaled and blocked 2 fists. He caught onto a leg and broke it. Hearing scream, Naruto slammed his elbow, cracking the mass. He then turned around and kicked so hard that the kunoichi was sent into another, and then they crashed through a boulder. Naruto leaped, grabbing the head of another as he twists, delivering a brutal kick that snapped the shinobi head to the side. As he landed, he extended both of his arms and sent 5 of them sailing. He dashed through the air and split the first one in half. He spun around, but multiple senbons made from lightning as several of them hit him, causing two to rush him. A brutal fist to the face and a brutal hit to the gut. A kunai then ripped into his spine. As he staggered back, a leg was raised and dropped, but Naruto caught it and pushed it over, causing the man to flip around and launch a kunai to his face as Naruto grabbed it right in front of his eye and threw it back. The man deflected though. Reaching around, Naruto grabbed the kunai and ripped it out. As he gazed around him, there was still a lot of them. All of these members were specially trained to join Raijin Lightning Corps. He was the leader of them. These members were handpicked and went through rigorous training, each and every one of them eclipsing your standard Jonin. And together along with their leader, they could end the life of Kages. That is how powerful this group was. They were there to take the spot of the Kinkaku group that once hailed as victors within the land of lightning, powerhouses, mans that were seen as monsters. And yet, they were unable to understand how this person was keeping up with them. The fact that they knew nothing about him or hear any tales of his strength made it even more worrying. However, the problem that they were having was Naruto's growth. With each battle, Naruto understand a little bit more. With each fist thrown, he understand how to throw a stronger one back. It was the same with Might Guy. Guy defeated Naruto when they first spar, but after that battle, Guy was no match for Naruto, and Guy had spent a lot of his life training due to his lack of, well, specialty in other areas, and Naruto bested him in hand to hand. So that was a problem for them as they surrounded him. However, they all stopped. Naruto could see it. It was emanating from their shoulder, a special tattoo. Despite his eyes not showing any specialty, Naruto could see Raijin behind the stone, hiding with another. He was the one that signaled the hand sign. The members started to pull back, one after another. Raijin rose, stepping away as Naruto gazed towards him. He was injured, tired, due to the battle with Naruto, but he stood tall. However, he called his man back as they picked up the corpse of their fallen. As they started to retreat, Naruto did not go after them, as him and Raijin gaze locked together. The man seeming to not wanting to take this defeat. However, he was retreating. Raijin was a very proud person, but he was not stupid. He could see it. The more they fought, the stronger Naruto became. The more abilities he unlocked. He didn't understand this person that was once a kid. It didn't make sense. And 3 of his people died in less than a minute. These people that were all stronger than Jonins. And he was taking them on, even after stabbing him near the spine and puncturing near the heart. He rose back to his feet. Raijin wasn't about to let all of his men go to their grave for no reason. They will retreat for now, to gather more intel on this person, because he was proven to be a true problem. Lucky thing Naruto did not go after them. His body might have healed immensely quickly, but due to the limitations that were set on him, this being his first evolution and all, Naruto was feeling something for the first time. A sense of fatigue. He shouldn't be feeling that. However, the evolutional process, it took more out of him than he originally believed. Because his strength wasn't only coming out. His entire structure and body had genetically changed. And the genetical change had taken a lot of his strength away. Yet he still fought them off. It just goes to show how strong he has become. Naruto turned as he saw Tenma stepping towards him. The man had a smile on his face, never expecting this, never believing that, after his battle with Raijin, that he would survive. He was sure that he was about to die, but it seems that the heavens sent him a miracle. Time skip. Tenma was a good judge of character. Being a very spiritual man, he invited Naruto into the comfort of their home. He invited him there. Most people never had this luxury due to the special property of the Ryu village. As Tenma was showing Naruto around, Naruto was curious why they desired to take his home. Tenma could see past any lies and deceptions. It was just curiosity. So he told Naruto, a long time ago, my people was able to find this piece of land, he said. It is said that the first leader of my clan found his wife ill, her strength greatly diminishing. As they grew, she grew weaker. He prayed to the heavens, he prayed to the gods, begging for some relief. A few days later, when he thought there was no hope, something fell from the sky, deep within the crevice of their village. It was a crystal. He didn't know what it was, but he brought it back. And surprisingly, it strengthened his wife. I am not completely sure if all of this is truthful. As much as I believe in my home and my people, stories can be mistold and change over the years. However, my belief that this village was blessed has always stand firm throughout the ages. A long time ago, there was many misconception between those that had information about this, and several artifacts that led to telling the truth was destroyed. So most of it is gone untold. However, there's a deep history behind this village. He brought Naruto to an area where he showed him the crystal. However, it wasn't just one. It was underground. Time after time, these crystals are able to reproduce. How? We have some of the best here try to find out, but we have no idea. That is why I truly believe it's a miracle, he said, picking one of them up. However, it is not simple as most people believe, said Tenma. An ancient tradition, our dead, is buried here, he said, showing Naruto the vast, empty graveyard. I believe that the corpse of our loved ones, it is what rejuvenate the crystals, that strengthen them, that eventually strengthen us. However, using these crystals will lead to this island, this entire land, being diminished of life. A few years back, there was a civil war between my people because one of our leaders was continuously removing these crystals, wanting to use them for strength. But the more he did, the more the land perished. The more people grew sick. That is why they are kept here. That is why they are not given out to other villages. These secrets have been kept here for a long time. But knowing this world that we live in, others will not hesitate to rip this entire land apart. My people and I are bonded to this place. And removing these crystals will mean ending our life. Naruto looked at him rather surprised. He never expected that. He picked one of them up and looked at it. So you guys never use them? Yes, the few that are spared to us are used to strengthen most of us. However, there is a balance, and we understand the limitations, but others will not. If you would like. No, said Naruto. He placed it back down. I'm quite okay. You truly did not desire anything from aiding us, did you? No. Then why did you? I heard you said that you did it because it was right, but is that the only reason? I'm not sure, said Naruto. A lot of things happened recently and I'm not sure what I'm up to now or what I'm going to do. Or what is out there for me. Seems like you're on a journey to find out who you are. Judging by you being a child when you first arrive, I believe there's a lot to unpack there. Yes, there is, said Naruto. But now that I've changed, I feel something different. Someone different, said Naruto as he gazed into the heavens. What a curious person, Tenma thought. Meanwhile, the Raikage stepped into the room. Raijin was there. What happened? The Raikage demanded to know who was responsible for this. This was supposed to be enter and retrieve. There is no way that village could have stopped this group. There is no way that they possessed the power enough to defeat him. We had everything under control, sir, Raijin said. The village was about to be ours. The crystals were about to be ours. Until he arrived. He, who's that? I do not know his name, but he was a child. The Raikage was shocked. You're saying a child killed over 5 of your men and bested you? No, the child did not pose a threat. But it was what happened after was the part that none of us expected. Tell me everything, the Raikage said. Meanwhile, as she rose, she was no longer bound by the chains, no longer sealed away. The seal was still active, but for the first time in thousands of years, she was awake, able to feel everything below her, able to feel the world. She just could not enter it. How is this happening was beyond her, but she could know and precisely tell what caused it. Her gaze, while unable to see the mortal realm, she could see him, his strength, his stature, his concealing power. Who are you? The woman thought, gazing out, feeling the essence of one, Naruto. But guys, in the end so right here, if you want to see this person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification stay posted. Remember to share to all of your friends in social media platform. But I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace, guys.